So we are just minutes away now from the start of the first game. We of course have Harry Channon, who will be our main commentator for proceedings. I'll be throwing my 2 cents in as well, and of course Wes will be giving us his expert punditry for all of the tactical stuff that's going on that possibly people who don't quite know the game as well, you can enlighten them. Wes, Harry, take us away.
Thank you very much, Adam. Yes, delighted to have you here for Matchday 2. Your presence was most certainly
missed, wasn't it? Let's be honest.
It really was.
Yeah, as great a show as it was missed.
There was a gap in my soul and a gap in the show as well. But you're here for Matchday 2, and what a matchup we have for our very first game of the day. For me, certainly the match to watch. We can see the two teams, how they're going to be lining up here. Where's anything you're seeing at the moment? You mentioned about Manchester United, how they've learned their squad, learned the appropriate traits. You mentioned the fighting spirit, the captaincy, when talking to me this morning about them. Anything that you're seeing immediately that jumps out from these two lineups?
Well, from a United standpoint, it looked like more of the same. They have a tactic for being in possession, being out of possession from kickoff. They have a multiple formation style, very similarly to Arsenal. Christopher being captain. Christopher's tactics generally is a fluid formation, and he will always try and keep his opponents guessing, and it looks to be the approach that Arsenal are approaching. So it's there for either team at this point. They've set up in similar ways, but there'll be little intricacies that they'll have picked up for either teams.
Yeah, and obviously during the actual match, of course, you'll have different changes and tactics that'll happen, and obviously you'll enlighten them at home as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's all good.
Tough old week last week did Arsenal. 0 points, as we mentioned before, had to go up against the reigning champions AS Monaco, losing 6-1 and 3-2. No points. They're going to try and put that right this week. They are dead last in the eFootball.Pro on goal difference. Only Celtic joining them on 0 points. Their opponents, though, last week, 3-2 win and a 0-0 draw against a Bayern München team that a lot of us had pegged to be a lot further up in the table than where they sit here on match day 2. We will see how they line up and if they can continue their amazing form. I don't think any of us really expected them to get that result that they did against Bayern München in match day 1, whereas it was a tremendous showing, really.
Yeah, I mean, to have a bit of resiliency, as we mentioned through some of these teams, for United to be able to show that, coming back from a deflected free kick that, had made it 2-2, for them to be able to show that resolve and to show that clinical mindset to kind of take it 3-2, it was great. It was great to see, and it was unexpected.
We have, of course, in the middle of that Manchester United lineup, Osterbuch, who won the €10,000 prize for the best goal, scoring the winner in the 82nd minute against Bayern München, with Marcus Rashford made his debut, I mean, less than a year ago. 2 goals last week, Adam. A tremendous showing from the young man.
It really was, and one thing that's coming to my mind, firstly, just to remind people at home, we have a 3v3 going on right now in case you missed match day 1, and some of the teams have more than those players, but they select the 3. But also what's interesting is how split the teams have been, because we've had players playing with each other, and now this season they're against each other. How do you think that's going to play out, Wes?
Yeah, I mean, it will probably play into some teams' hands, because you'll have one person within that team will go, okay, well, I know what I'm expecting from this team, so be interested.
So, kickoff approaches. Match 1 of Matchday 2, the eFootball.Pro 2020 season. Arsenal versus Manchester United. As we said before, Arsenal not where they want to be, and they're going to try and put that right here on Matchday 2. It is their opponents, though, with an early chance, looking for Greenwood in the middle, but Leno gratefully will gobble that one up. It's certainly going to be interesting to see the adjustments that Arsenal have made here, Wes, as they are able to grab the ball in midfield, but certainly going to need to be on fine scoring form if they want to try and get more points here in Matchday 2.
What's going to be interesting is if Arsenal, if they do go a goal ahead like they did against Monaco in that first game, whether they can sort of, hold it out a bit better than, because they conceded 6, didn't they, without reply?
Yeah, it was 6-1 actually. They were able to open the scoring, but 6 in a row, as you say, without reply is not what Arsenal are going to be looking for here on Matchday 2. Bit of an early runner there. What have you seen so far, Wes? I mean, Not too much to go on. We're still within the first 10 in-game minutes, but a couple of attacks from both teams. Anything really standing out for you? Who are they trying to target here, Arsenal?
Yeah, I mean, looking at Arsenal, they're looking through Aubameyang, and they were looking a lot more positive than they did on match day 1. As you can see, United made their way through.
Oh. I think that was David Luiz there. Sorry to cut you off, Wes, but David Luiz just getting back for Arsenal and making that clearance.
First real chance, and what a stunning block it was, as you said, from the Brazilian. Otherwise, that would have been a certain goal for Manchester United. They do have a corner, though. And there's the first pause in play, Wes. What are they doing?
Well, it'll be a tinker to try and figure out what they've done. Oh, actually, right, no. I think it might have been to change the corner taker.
Pogba
Sometimes
then.
as simple as that.
Yeah.
Pogba is going to whip this one in for the Manchester club. Looking for Harry Maguire in the middle. Cleared away, but only as far as McTominay. Guendouzi will lift that one out of play. Throw in to United. Let's see, again, how these two teams are going to settle in here to match day 2. They've had that extended winter break. Lively interception from Eldridge O'Neill there, unable to grasp the ball away. Here is Pogba now.
Certainly Manchester United, who have been on the front foot so far. Can Arsenal hit them on the counter now? 15 minutes gone, still 0-0 stalemate.
McTominay finds Greenwood. There is Damani Mellor ahead of him, but Greenwood just blasted it against an Arsenal player. Here is Mellor. Greenwood still in and amongst it. Just tackled there. Good clearance as well by Alex Giardi for Arsenal. Gets that ball away, and now maybe a chance to counter as they finally get a hold of the ball here, Wes.
Yeah, so looking at it, I can see that there's some interesting changes that Man United have actually made. They've actually started McTominay to maybe counteract some physicality in midfield with Guendouzi and players like that. But Aubameyang's through.
Aubameyang is through here for Arsenal. Is this the first chance? And it's a goal.
And
Beats the goalkeeper at the near post. Lovely goal from Arsenal. And that's the perfect start from them.
And they've soaked up all of the pressure early doors. And on the counter-attack, that is where Aubameyang and co are so dangerous. And advantage Arsenal. Wes, can they keep it? That's the question.
Well, you can see there they're using Aubameyang. As we mentioned, they have a lot of threats going forward. You've got Pepe, you've got Aubameyang, you've got Lacazette. But it's as quick and as easy as a give and go. It's one or two passes and you're through.
Just again to remember, or to remind people at home, you mentioned Scott McTominay. To even things up in midfield, it's stat balanced, isn't it? In this tournament, how does that work, Wes?
Yeah, well, in terms of stat balancing, you'll have some players that will get better ratings, and then you'll get some players that will have lesser ratings. And as we've figured out from match day 1 and from previous match days, is that physicality is a massively important stat. McTominay has that in buckets, so it's looking at the individual stats and playing off against them.
So then, 1-0 to Arsenal. The London club starting how they mean to go on. Here is the man we were just talking about, Scott McTominay, a focal point so far for Manchester United's midfield. You can see the two club stats so far in the eFootball.Pro season here in 2020. I must admit it was a bit of a mistake. I believe it was by Cams, the Manchester United defence, just allowing Aubameyang to be onside for that goal. So he's going to try and make amends. Here is Greenwood though. And Rashford tussling for it, trying to maybe get a bit of the rub of the green, but well done by Guendouzi. Nicola Pepe tries to feed Aubameyang, but that one will be cleared by De Gea.
Of course, Christopher played 1v1 for many years, and 1-0 to the Arsenal, so to say. As he just breaks down there. He was famed for those sort of victories, wasn't he, Wes? Obviously now he's part of a co-op. Do you think they're going to try the same tactics and try and get that sort of 1-0 sniff?
Yeah, I mean, you look at it, it would probably be the most sensible option at this point. See it out to half-time, stay at 1-0 and control the play from there. But the onrush of United is powerful enough as it is. You don't need to give them any more invites than what they're giving them right now.
Nelson clears the danger for Arsenal. Aubameyang again. Going to be one of the focal points to Arsenal's attack. Better though from Cams that time around, marking the Arsenal striker, getting that one clear. Here is Damani Mellor on the ball. Rashford making a great run through. Is this the equaliser? No, Leno smartly out. Good call there by the captain, Christopher, bringing out Leno. He will gratefully gather that one up as we are 5 minutes away from half-time.
Yeah, it was a good attack there from United, but just a little bit overhit on the pass, and they've been struggling a little bit so far in the opening 40 minutes with that. A lot of great approach play, Wes, but that final ball just lacking at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, you can see what they're trying to do, but it's just those little moments where it's just slightly overhit or it's slightly underhit.
Greenwood now looking for Damani Miller again.
Underhit again.
Yeah, you can see the ideas are there. It's just is that
nerves, or is that just good defending?
It's just good defending at this point.
Pogba, looking for Maguire. Went for the spectacular. Marcus Rojo, though, is here again. Looking for Greenwood.
Great turn.
Into Damani Miller, is offside.
Offside flag is raised.
Manchester United thought they got the equaliser. Damani Miller, though, running a little bit too eager. And the score stays 1-0. That was a great chance, though, for United.
I mean, on paper, Wes, you'd say before the game, Manchester United went into this as slight favourites, or am I just giving Arsenal not enough credit here?
Well, I think a lot of it would have been, if you were looking at match day 1, you would say they're favourites. However, as we said, they've had the festive period. They've been able to go away and look at their team, and Arsenal seem to be bang at it today.
There will be one more chance of the first half. Don't forget, we play 2 different matches here. Each match day, each club plays each other in 2 90-minute games of PES. Corner swung in. Cleared away by Lindelof. Only as far as Aubameyang, though. Might still be a chance here for Arsenal. That will be hoofed away.
Anywhere will do.
And into the half we go. Arsenal looking good. A 1-0 lead for them.
Yeah, so 1-0 to the Arsenal. A very famous phrase over the years. Of course, again, reminding people at home, if you miss match day 1, we have 2 games here, so this will count for a maximum of 3 points for the victor, or 1 for a draw, 0 for a loss, and then there'll be another game, so the potential is for 6 points, Harry.
Absolutely. Only 2 clubs were able to do that on match day 1. AS Monaco defeating Arsenal were one of those clubs. The other club, Schalke, beating Celtic 1-0 in both of those games. We have so many more matches to come here on match day 2. All of the aforementioned clubs will be in action once again, and all will be looking for the maximum 6 points.
And remember, you can follow us on all of the social medias for all of the latest information, and to get involved today, let us know how you're seeing the game so far, and throughout the day, let us know who your favourite teams are, who your favourite players are, best moments, etc.
Guendouzi intercepts. Failed pass, though, from Christopher is going to allow O'Neill with Pogba to try and feed Rashford. Cleared away, that will be hoofed in again, out of the pitch.
It's all much of the same, isn't it, so far?
It really is. Anywhere will do for Arsenal. They've certainly adopted a bit more of a no-nonsense defensive approach, and are trying to target Aubameyang there on the counter again. Just can't quite hold his run enough.
If I may say so, first cliche of the day, the next goal is all important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Mustafi. Clear for Arsenal. Once again looking for Aubameyang. The problem is, though, for the London club, is that they are pinned back in their own half. That's a nice snatch, though. The judge the other way for the referee. By the referee, I should say. But, I mean, looking at the defensive records of the 2 teams, I mean, in terms of defence points, you have 2 Arsenal players within the top 10 throughout all 30 players in the eFootball.Pro. You have Christopher, who was 5th best, Alex Giardi 7th best. So you should think they have the defensive capabilities to try and maintain this 1-0 lead. Here is Aubameyang, tackled by Maguire. Kolasinac looking for Nelson. Surely he's offside.
How impressed! Oh, chance here. It's dropped to Nelson.
Nelson! Just saved.
Save.
I'm surprised that wasn't offside, but it will be a corner.
How impressed are you, Wes, with the defending from Arsenal so far?
Well, it's a more pragmatic approach. You know, you saw they were a little bit more careless, a little bit more cavalier in match day 1. They seem to have gone away, really refined it, and are showing a really good defensive display here.
Half an hour remaining, Harry. Can we get an equalising goal?
Swung in. Looking for David Luiz. Wins the header. It down to Aubameyang, but gratefully David De Gea will silence the chance of come on Arsenal. You can see the updated goals table. The AS Monaco boys up the top thanks to their drubbing of Arsenal last week. So many goals scored. Alex GRD scoring his third goal in this game. Cleared up to Greenwood. Will he just get back to that? No, he won't settle for the throw in here, Wes.
Yeah, it's just an interesting point that you can see here is that Arsenal are trying to negate that physical advantage that Man United have. They're playing it on the deck, they're not playing aerial balls, they're trying to play in around the players. And I think Man United are kind of playing into Arsenal's strengths.
Naughty. That is a naughty challenge.
What colour card will we see? If any. Will just be the yellow card, I think, there for Nelson as the tactical changes will come in.
Yeah, I was literally just going to say, Wes, it's around that 60-70 minute mark when we see all those changes. If they need to, you know, alter the proceedings of play, what do they need to do here, Manchester United?
Well, Man United, they need to get fresh legs in at the top end of the pitch. We've seen that they've gone the physical route by starting McTominay and Pogba. They need to maybe look at that for even the next game and even for the rest of this game to go, is that the right approach? You can see that substitutions have come on. You can see that Lacazette's come on for Arsenal to give them fresher legs. You can see that Arsenal are looking to try and employ some man marking as well to stop Man United from coming any further into the game.
You can see them just comparing the statistics, comparing those traits as you were talking about earlier this morning off air, Wes. I mean, it's something I hadn't even really considered, all the different traits of all the different players. That's why it's so important here in the eFootball.Pro League to know your squad and know your strengths. Looking for Damani Mella. Lingard's here, wins the header. Rashford in the middle, gratefully cut out. Mustafi, I think it is in the end. To clear.
Looked a painful blow there for Aubameyang. That's going to be sore in the morning.
Back to De Gea. What can Manchester United build from here? 1-0 down, time ticking away. 72nd minute, that's again poor mistake. But both teams really losing it in midfield, a bit of a scrappy affair here. Lacazette is through if he can find him. Aubameyang's pass goes wanting. Manchester United just 15 in-game minutes left to try and snatch a result away from Arsenal. Here is Martial.
It's been such a tight game, hasn't it, so far? Just you know, one moment really that's changed proceedings, but I've been impressed with Arsenal defensively, but also a little bit disappointed, should I say, from United going forwards.
Yeah, I mean, looking at them, it's Arsenal who have attacked in the way that they've attacked the weaknesses of Man United, and I think Man United haven't really attacked the weaknesses of Arsenal.
So do you think they've gone away, Wes, and actually looked at this game and planned especially to play Manchester United and not just play a game of PES?
I think so. I think if you look at it, they're looking at the height of Maguire, but the lack of pace with Maguire at the back, and immediately gone, right, well, we'll employ Pepe, we'll employ Aubameyang, and now obviously they've got Lacazette on the pitch, makes it a lot, makes it a lot easier to get around that Man United back line. You can see they've got quite a tight four at the back. Traditionally, they play with 4 centre-backs, which stops the 2 additional players going forward. It gives you a lot more of a defensive base. You know, employing Kolasinac at defensive midfield, again, it's an additional defender that's in there that has physicality, that has the ability to tackle. So you can see that they've really set up to really kind of disorientate this United team.
Do you think maybe they might miss out on some counter-attacking opportunities playing Kolasinac in that midfield?
At this point, yes, but at this point during the game, you've only got 10 in-game minutes left. From Arsenal's standpoint, it's game management. You're looking to close out the game, and that's it.
Let's see if they can do just that.
You saw close-ups there of the players. It seems like they need some sort of G-up here. The guys from United look very quiet for such, I mean, especially Eldridge and Cams. They're both very, very loud players as the ball gets played in. Oh, Arsenal could have made it 2-0 off the woodwork. What a chance.
Remember that one. If Manchester United somehow managed to get a goal, because that was really the chance to put this game to bed for Arsenal. Looking for Rashford here, controlled by captain Eldridge. He's taken out though, and here is Kolasinac, as you said, Wes, playing as that defensive midfielder, and now it's all about game management. Get this ball to the corner. Aubameyang, a country mile offside.
That could come back to cost them there, because like you said, they should have gone to the corner really there, Harry. and they've given possession completely away with that offside. Yeah, what I was saying about the players, you know, looking at Eldridge and Cams, especially from years gone by, very loud, exuberant, excitable players. They look quite down in the dumps at the moment. Do they need that little G up?
They need something to latch onto. As we know traditionally, Cams and Eldridge, both emotional players. We saw from Matchday 1, Austri is kind of the calming influence of the three. But I think they need to employ or get something out of this game to at least latch onto for the second.
4 minutes to go. Matic here for United. Martial, Lingard in support here as well. Maguire up to Rashford. Blocked though. Absolutely tremendous there from Christopher, believe it was. But Manchester United come again. Looking for Lingard out there on the left, but that's a naughty one.
Here's a chance.
That will gift a free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, and looking at Man United, they've gone all-out attack, which means that you've got an additional centre-back forward. So Maguire's in and around the box at the moment, so it's adding an extra player that Arsenal have got to watch out for.
The decibels are raising inside the stadium with just 1 minute to go. Chance for a late equaliser. Would be a priceless point here for Manchester United.
Matic trying to clash against an Arsenal player, but Mustafi will bring this one away. Do you hack him down here? He's just hoofing it up the pitch. Is that far enough, though? You can see Alex Giardi in the player cams, not happy with himself.
This would be a huge result, wouldn't it, for Arsenal?
Absolutely it would. Yet to score a point here in the eFootball.Pro, but United aren't just done yet. That one hoofed up the pitch. I think we're all out of time. And the first 3 points of the eFootball.Pro 2020 season go to Arsenal.
That is a massive, massive result for Arsenal Football Club in the eFootball.Pro season. It was just a case, Wes, of get your nose in front and just see the game out. And it wasn't like they were being necessarily negative, just very resolute performance. Impressive.
Yeah, I mean, you know, to steal a line from El Matador from Matchday 1, 1-0 is the greatest result in football, and they've gone and got.
You can't just copy people.
Oh, well, I have to. You know, I have to steal somebody's
No, it is.
line.
It's a great.
But
But
if you look at the way that they did it, like you said, they weren't overly negative with how they were playing. They were in the opponent's half. They were trying to push the issue. I think once it got to the last 5 minutes of that game, I think Arsenal realised, okay, we just get the ball. We get the ball gone now. Yeah. You know, and like I say, they controlled the game without looking like they were controlling the game. They played in their tactics played into the hands of countering Man United's weaknesses, and don't think Man United are equipped, or were equipped, at least in that game, to counter Arsenal's weaknesses.
So, with that Game 1 result, Arsenal score their first points of the eFootball.Pro season, lifting them off the bottom of the table. And honestly, they looked very, very well oiled in that first game, as you two have both touched on already, countering the strengths of the Manchester United team. I have to ask you now, Wes, at what point do Manchester United maybe throw a curveball at Arsenal? If you think Arsenal have, you know, designed their whole team lineup to counter yours, at what point do you maybe throw a curveball, throw a different player in there, maybe switch on the formation?
I think you have to do it from minute 1 of this game. I think this game plan screen down will determine whether United get a result out of this game or not.
Yeah, my question was going to be exactly the same, to be honest, because looking at that game, you would expect Arsenal to play pretty much identical. Try and, you know, because let's be honest, even a 0-0 for them now, they'd be very happy with the 4 points.
Oh yeah, no.
So they will sit there, they'll try and grab a goal, exactly the same. The key change that's needed here is from the opposition. Manchester United need to do something, and like you said, possibly they may play them at their own game. They might try and just sit there, but then you're playing into Arsenal's hands. They're happy with the 0-0, like they said.
Well, it's like we said in Matchday 1. Christopher has a tactic for all occasions. So if you go and try and press the game on them, he's got a tactic for that. If you hold off and play backwards, he will have a tactic for that, and that is a real key trait that Arsenal have in their squad.
So, indeed. How do Manchester United break down the enigma that is Christopher's Arsenal team? We head into the second match of this tie between these two teams. Manchester United attacking Arsenal.
Quick start needed.
Rashford.
A few shouts for a penalty there.
I don't think that one will ever be given, as long as the referee has eyes.
VAR.
Let's not get into it. That's a bit of a touchy subject. McTominay, though, can find Greenwood here on the left. Rashford waiting in the centre. Can Greenwood find a man, he only finds David Luiz, and that one will sail out for a corner. Good early start though from Manchester United. Early corner for Pogba to whip in, and looks like we're actually going to be seeing some changes perhaps, maybe a little bit of tactical switching going on here for Arsenal, maybe a bit of gamesmanship.
Same formations as we saw in the first game, Wes. Are you surprised by that from Manchester United point of view?
A little bit surprised. I mean, granted, you know, knowing these players personally, they'll trust in their own game plans, but I think still there needs to be some type of change somewhere.
This is where Arsenal are dangerous.
Great steal from Pepe. As we have Aubameyang again ahead of him. Great little skill there, finds Aubameyang. Lindelof though covering behind, and that is cleared by Eldridge. And I think the worst thing for Manchester United's confidence here in this game would be to concede first. So important to be solid at the back. Matic trying to find Damani Mella. Here is Rashford in the Arsenal penalty box, snuffed out though by Alex GRD. Controlling Mustafi, and now he can bring the ball forward.
Why is the defense?
Kolasinac just a little bit wayward there, doesn't find a man at all, and now Manchester United have the ball back. And one thing that Christopher of Arsenal fame is so renowned for in the PES League is controlling the ball, playing possession football, something we haven't seen so far out of Arsenal here in this second match. David Luiz finds Aubameyang. Nelson here in support. Pepe is through here as well. Can Venom get anything on the board? I was going to say, a little bit indecisive there from Venom.
Had to pull the trigger there. The far post was gaping.
Aubameyang. Nelson. Again, just a little bit lacklustre here from Arsenal, and as long as they let these chances go, they're still going to allow Manchester United into the game. 20 minutes into the first half. As Arsenal attack down the right-hand side, looking for Aubameyang, but Lindelof again covering, and again, it's Cam's doing really well. As Arsenal lose the ball in midfield. Damani Mella again the target, but that will be a foul.
You feel Manchester United really needed an early goal here, because this game is playing out exactly like the first so far, Wes, and Arsenal will be very, very happy with proceedings so far, unless Marcus Rashford can grab a goal here. It's another wayward final third pass again.
Well, if you look at the way that Arsenal set up defensively, they're swarming that box. They have loads of players that are in that box that are stopping these little intricate passes they're attempting. And there's nothing that Man United have really at this point to counteract that. You know, it's interesting to see that Man United haven't switched their approach.
Bit of a fluff piece from me, but it's interesting to see Manchester United actually change where they're sitting. Last week we had Cams in the middle. This week it's actually Osterbuch. I don't know whether or not that might be changing their mentality a little bit, potentially.
Vice-captain stepped up today.
Rashford finds Greenwood for United. Rashford again on that left-hand side is the target, but smartly cleared by Alex GRD, and Venom, I believe, saves the corner. Will just be a throw-in here to United. Matic is in support. Surely will be the target. No, one throw comes in. Aim for Rashford, but Mustafi gets that one away, and now another chance for Arsenal to counter. They don't have the bodies up just yet, so some hold-up play or some trickery will have to come into effect. Rojo, though, snuffs that one out. Now United maybe can come forward again.
Half an hour gone, business as usual, Wes. 0-0, stalemate, Arsenal closing in on 4 points.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they're not really having to push the issue. Having won the first game, they haven't really got to push it and try and go for another win. They're in a completely different environment than what they were on the first match day, where they just felt they were constantly chasing their tails.
And of course, you know, a lot of the time we see in eFootball PES 2020, we see a lot of, you know, high-scoring affairs, but there is this occasion where, you know, these great players are so tactically gifted that they can produce these moments of stalemates.
Yeah, 100%. And we made the comment on match day one, is that the games are won or lost in the game plan screen. Like it's not you know, something that, you know, you really think that it makes that much of an impact. But you need to be set out from minute one. You need to be set out pinpoint.
Manchester United really struggling to break down the brick wall that is Arsenal. But again, the London club really a little bit sloppy in midfield. Arnie Miller trying to find Rashford, but this has gotten very scrappy. Certainly not the possession football that we've known of Christopher so far.
Now, just seeing some stats on the screen there, Alex Giardi with 3 goals. He mentioned last season when he was playing for FC Nantes that, of course, he was lightning in front of goal and absolutely ruthless, and he's proving that again, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly took that class and that quality from last season. He's very much employed it this season, and you know, I don't know where this game's going to go, this second game. I really don't.
7th best in the league in terms of defence points entering Matchday 2 was Alex Giardi. 3 goals to his name after that first goal in the first game.
How do you not know where the game's going, Wes? You're meant to be our expert.
Well,
come on.
At a 0-0 and a stalemate, it's going to be based on that magical 60-minute to 70-minute period. If you get the right subs on at the right time, the game can change.
Arnie Miller for United. He's been really strong in midfield. He's certainly been a focal point for them. Here is McTominay. Arnie Miller again has Greenwood waiting. Hounded by 2 Arsenal men. Make it 3 as
brilliant defending again.
Socrates comes in, and that will be the final kick of the half.
Yeah, and I'm going to use my second cliche of the day, Wes. It's going to be, of course, by the looks of things, either a moment of magic, pure magic, or a defensive mistake that's going to change this game.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the pressure that you would say that United are putting Arsenal under, Arsenal are able to answer everything. They're hunting in packs, they're going in 2s or 3s to go and get the ball back. They've got nothing really to counteract it at this point.
So then, second half underway. Arsenal and Manchester United in this second match. Still goalless, just the 1 goal in the first game, going in Arsenal's favour. Alex Giardi, the goal scorer. Punted forward to Rashford. United certainly chasing the game. Haven't really seen a lot attacking-wise out of Arsenal here in this second game. Let's see if they can conjure up something here. Aubameyang tackles Maguire, and that's going to allow potentially Arsenal through, and that's a cynical one.
50-50 possession. It's been very even. 49 minutes, it's a real chance. Oh, what a terrible touch. Because he was in there, Wes.
Yeah, he was. That was one of those gilt-edged chances. If it takes the right touch, you can get it under control, but it's just not to be that time.
Well, could this bounce through to Greenwood? He is still
He's
through
in, he's in. It's Rashford, surely.
Rashford.
He's done it.
And that's the goal. Handshakes are, I mean, they're leaving a lot to be desired, but United won't care. Rashford through, and it's the first goal.
Well, Wes, I said moment of magic, moment or a defensive error, and it's come as a defensive error, really. Miscontrol right in the danger area. They broke on them very quickly with that high press, and the rest was history. Marcus Rashford, 1-0.
Yeah, I mean, if you looked at the way that this ball breaks down, Greenwood makes the run there, but you can see that they're banking on a bad touch, and they've managed to take advantage of it and take the lead.
So United find the goal they were looking for. As you said, Adam, Rashford was through, and Arsenal are very disappointed. That's going to mean the lead going to the Manchester club. I must say, though, disappointing to see the handshakes. Arsenal looking for an immediate reply here. Aubameyang will only find himself a corner.
Yeah, instant reply needed, because I think Manchester United are going to do what Arsenal did to them in the opening fixture, because they'll be very happy just to sit on this now and hit them on the counter.
Guendouzi for Arsenal, who are searching for an equaliser. Whipping this corner in. 53 in-game minutes have elapsed. David Luiz finds Aubameyang, great save. Rojo trying to clear it. Pogba surely will. And it's moved up the pitch. That was a close one, though, for Arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's their resiliency at the back. Is it going to break at any point? You're looking at, you know, Arsenal now. They're in a totally different scenario than what they were in the first game, and now we're going to kind of see what type of attacking mentality that they've got. Whether they go and push for an additional goal. to try and get it to 1-1, or do they just try and take the loss on the chin? I mean, I know what I'd be doing. I'd be throwing the kitchen sink at it.
Lindelof here for United. Pogba with a lot of space, not an Arsenal man pressuring. That allows him to pick his pass. Here is McTominay to Rashford, looking for Damani Mello again. The clearance is a bit wayward there from Arsenal, allowing United to retain and recycle the attack. Pogba hounded, but maintains possession. Rashford through ahead of Greenwood here, but Nelson's doing such a great job. Just pushing him back, but United will be happy with this. They'll just be continuing to maintain possession, clear the midfield a little bit, and we will see if United maybe can get through here, but played back to the keeper here from Arsenal.
Yeah, half an hour remaining here for Arsenal to salvage something. It's hard to see, like the first game, on the opposite foot, where it's going to come from, because in such tight games, they're not creating either side, really. So, Wes, what are they going to do now to change this?
Well, if you're Arsenal, you need to be looking at bringing on offensive players. You need some additional energy. It looks like they've gone that route with employing Lacazette up top. Of course, United kind of defaulting to their regular type of changes, which is Martial comes on, who has a super sub card, which allows him to perform at a better level. And then you've got Jesse Lingard, who comes in again as a fresh number 10 to reinforce that midfield. And also, because we mentioned about the stat balancing, that physicality slightly different though across the players. Do you think that'll come into? Yeah, I mean, if you're United, you'll continue to play the way that you are. You're not trying. You're just trying to challenge for each ball. You're not trying to win it. You're just trying to disrupt. With Arsenal, they're going to need to utilise that pace and find a way around Lindelof, Maguire, who are both physically strong in stat balance mode.
So then, 65 minutes elapsed as Ozil will be coming on here for Arsenal, who are chasing a point out of this game. Do not forget, we play 2 games per match here every match day. So Arsenal already with 3 points in the bank. They're looking to see if they can snatch at least one more. They're going to need a goal to do that, though. They've won themselves a corner. Guendouzi to swing this one in, or rather swing it out with the right boot. David Luiz, the target here at the front post, trying to flick it onto Aubameyang. Nothing doing, though. It's Mavropanos now. Will recycle, wins the first ball. Ozil here. Looking for Aubameyang again. Guendouzi challenging for it, but United's come away with it.
Just looking at the screen, we saw some stats there. The top assist maker, 6 assists for Usmakabal, who hasn't even played yet. And the next down is 2. So in terms of the overall season for assists, he must be pretty odds on right now. But time running out here in this match for Arsenal. Just 20 minutes as Mesut Ozil takes the free kick short.
Aubameyang. Stolen by Rojo, and you might have been able to hear there on the player audio Eldridge O'Neill saying, "Oh my days." He's certainly feeling like United not getting the luck that they want right now. What is missing for them? Good defensive work there from Camps.
Many people, of course, billed this as the game of the day, didn't they? And I mean, such that the 2 teams were so good. Maybe that's the reason why we've had such a stalemate.
Yeah, well, this is it. We had a similar situation last week, didn't we? Where we played out several, well, not several, but a few draws and some nil-nils here and there. Can often be the case, Wes, when 2 teams are so evenly matched that they do almost cancel each other out.
Yeah, I mean, you have quality players all over this league. It's not just Arsenal, Man United. It's it's through all of the teams, and the way they play against each other a lot. They play with each other a lot, so they know a lot of their game plans and a lot of their gameplay. It's going to be hard for players to surprise each other in this league, and results like this may become probably more frequent than what we realise.
Arsenal now with possession, but time running down. They need to get the ball up the pitch and try and find a man in a goal-scoring position. Lingard with some nice control, though, from United. You can see how many players Arsenal are committing to their attacks, is leaving gaps in midfield and gaps in front of the defence. David Luiz, though, coming away with the ball. Referee plays advantage.
Oh.
United being very cynical here. Advantage
Filthy.
still being played. Lacazette just about gets a deflection, but it is cleared in the end by Ostrobuch.
I think the term pure filth comes into mind there. But of course, again, is that part of game management as well?
I think it's frustration is a little bit of it, but I think trying to get the game to be stopped, so at least then you can get your team back and formed up, because if you notice from that goal kick, Man United were pushing their line forward where the goalkeeper was executing a high punt. A high punt, as opposed to just a regular goal kick, will give your player enough time and enough energy, enough of an opportunity to head that ball down. If you're playing a high line and you're timing it just right, you'll always be offside from a goal kick. So it's these little tactics where they're trying to get the ball back and try and get it under their own control.
Moving around of the front three for Manchester United, and as you can see down the bottom of your screen, the 3 players from each team. Alex Giardi in the middle for Arsenal. Boy, they need his goal-scoring attributes now.
Absolutely they do. I feel like the United shift around up the top, certainly to try and counter-attack Arsenal and really drive the stake through the heart as they try and chase an equaliser.
I mean, if it stays like this, a fair result across the 2 games, one goal apiece, 3 points apiece.
Yeah, I would say so. I think both games we've seen similar game plans of get a goal and then manage the game. And I think both teams, I think if you ask them before the game, I think they both would be happy with 3 points.
Yeah.
Crunch
8 minutes
time
to go, Harry.
Crunch time for Arsenal, Adam. Can they conjure up a moment of magic to steal a point away from Manchester United? Ozil. Took a deflection there, I think. Maitland-Niles wins the header. Ozil there, scrapping, but cleared by Eldridge. Ball will come right back at them, though. Ozil has Lacazette through.
Chance.
Aubameyang. Oh, that's a foul from Eldridge.
Oh.
You heard him say it might be offside. Hacked him down anyway, and now
It's got to be a red, yeah.
it's a red for Rojo. Ozil with the quick one. Aubameyang. Just a little bit rushed there, maybe, from Arsenal.
Can they utilise that extra player now? They've got 5 minutes to do it. That was that was some challenge, wasn't it?
Certainly going to be feeling that one in the morning, but the foul on the United man will allow possession to go back into their favour, and with a 1-0 lead here in game 2, they're looking good for the 3 points, Wes.
Yeah, even with the sending off, I don't think that United will be too rattled by that. I think, if anything, that stops.
He had to do it. He was going to score.
Yeah,
wasn't he?
he was going to score. He was 1v1. You could have argued that potentially Aubameyang may have been offside, but the foul had to be executed. There was no way about it. It's cynical. It's professional. It's whichever way you want to slice it, but it needed to be done. It needed to be done.
It was Wes Dog-esque.
Yeah, me in my prime.
I mean, you would argue the same thing would happen in real-world football if it was a clear goal-scoring opportunity that late in the game. You've got to take one for the team, and that's something that happened to Manchester United.
But you can see here, Man United now really trying to shore this up. Let's have a look at what they've deployed. They've deployed Matic as an auxiliary CB.
I was going to say slightly defensive there, Wes.
Yeah, just slightly, ever so slightly, but they're very much parking the bus at this point, switching to 4-4-1.
I've also noticed that for Manchester United, for Arsenal, how narrow their back four are. Is there a reason for that?
Ideally, it's to focus all of your players to be in alignment in the box, so that way then it makes the little passes in the box far easier to defend, rather than having players that are kind of quite far away from each other.
United, 1-0 lead, time in their favour. Martial here with the ball. Oh, looking for Damani Mella. That's going to gift possession over to the London club. Ozil here in midfield. Pepe running on beyond. Can't quite dribble through to him, and that's cleared once again. Ball will come back at Manchester United. Siege mentality now for the club playing out of Old Trafford. Ozil looking for Aubameyang. Oh, will this just land for him? Keeper grabs. 5 minutes added on. Is this one all over, Wes?
Well, you can see there De Gea taking his time with the goal kick. And to be honest, if you're looking at the way that United fouled, they need to be careful. They give away a free kick, but they're in possession of the ball now. It's exactly where they need to be.
Lingard.
You can see Lingard
on the right. Yeah, hacked down there by Maitland-Niles. Had to be done, otherwise this one would have been all over. Free kick to United, but they will probably take as much time off the clock here as they possibly can.
No, it's me again.
It's Marnie Mello.
No, it's you again.
You can hear on the audio they're trying to decide who's going to take this free kick. It's into Matic. Back to Maguire. Oh, dilly-dallying there on the ball, but doesn't matter. Referee's final whistle comes in. Points are shared across the two games. Both teams getting a 1-0 win. Game 2 ends Manchester United 1, Arsenal 0.
Yeah, a great 3 points apiece for both of the two clubs. Rashford in the 51st minute there in a game that really offered not a lot in terms of attacking intent. It was a very, very cagey start to the day. But like we said, Wes, that's generally because the two teams were at such a high calibre.